Alrighty, everybody, welcome into this is from the main, and we're going to read through Jeremiah chapter 26 and Jeremiah chapter 27. So let's get into it. Alright, Jeremiah threatened with death, chapter 26. Early in the reign of Joachim, son of Josiah, king of Judah, this word came from the Lord. This is what the Lord says: Stand in the courtyard of the Lord's house and speak to all the people of the towns of Judah who come to worship in the house of the Lord. Tell them everything I command you. Do not omit a word. Perhaps they will listen, and each will turn from their evil ways. Then I will relent and not conflict on the disaster I was planning because of evil they have done. Say to them, This is what the Lord says. If you do not listen to me and follow my law, which I have set before you, and if you do not listen to the word of my servants, the prophets whom I have sent to you again and again, though you have not listened, then I will make the house of Shiloh and this city curse among all the nations of the earth. The priest, the prophet, and all the people heard Jeremiah speak these words in the house of the Lord. But as soon as Jeremiah finished telling all the people everything the Lord had commanded him to say, the priests, prophets, and all the people seized him and said, You must die. Why do you prophesy in the name of the Lord? In the Lord's name, sorry. Then this house will be like Shiloh, and this city will be desolate and deserted. And all the people crowded around Jeremiah in the house of the Lord. When the officials of Judah heard about the things, they went up from the royal palace of the house of the Lord and took their places at the entrance of the new gate of the Lord's house. Then the priests and the prophets said to the officials and all the people, This man should be sentenced to death, because he has prophesied against the city. You have heard it with your own ears. Then Jeremiah said to all the officials and all the people, The Lord sent me to prophesy against against the house, this city, all the things you have heard. Now reform your ways and your actions and obey the Lord your God. Then the Lord will relent and not bring disaster he pronounced against you. As for me, I am your hands. Do with me whatever you think is good and right. Be assured, whoever, that if you put me to death, you will bring the guilt of innocent blood on yourself and on this city and on those who live in it. For in the truth, the Lord has sent me to speak uh, to you to speak all these words in your hearing. Then the officials and all the people said to the priests and the prophets, The man should be sentenced to death. He has spoken to us in the name of the Lord our God. Some of the elders of the land stepped forward and said to the entire assembly of the people, Mecca Morhes prophesied in the days of Hezekiah, king of Judah. He told all the people, This is what the Lord Almighty says: Zion will be plowed like a field. Jerusalem will become a heap of rubble. The Temple Hill a mound overgrown with thickets. Did Hezekiah king of Judah or anyone else in Judah put him to death? Did not Hezekiah fear the Lord and seek his favor? And did not the Lord relent, so that he did not bring the disaster he pronounced against them? We are about to bring a terrible disaster on ourselves. Now Uriah, son of Shishimai from Korath, Jehoram was now was another man who prophesied the name of the Lord. He prophesied the same thing against the city and this land as Jeremiah did. When King Joachim and all his officers and officials heard his words, the king was determined to put him to death. But Uriah heard of it and fled, in fear of Egypt. King Joachim, however, sent Elanath, son of Akbra, to Egypt along with other men. They brought Uriah out of Egypt and took him to the King Joachim, who had struck him down with a sword, and his body thrown into the burial place of the common people. Furthermore, Achem, son of Shaphan, supported Jeremiah, and so he was not handed over to the people, but to be put to death. Chapter 27. Judah to serve Nebuchadnezzar. Early in the reign of Zedekiah, son of Josiah, king of Judah, the word came to Jeremiah from the Lord. This is what the Lord said to me. Make a yoke out of a strap and crossbow, and put it on your neck. Then send word to the king of Edom, Moab, Ammon, Tyre, and Sidon through the envoy who have come to Jerusalem, of Zedekiah king of Judah. Give them a message for their master, and say, This is what the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel, says. Tell this to your masters. With my great power and outstretched arm, I made the earth and its people and animals that are on it, and I gave it to anyone I please. Now I will give all your countries into the hands of the servants of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon. I will make even the wild animals subject to him. All nations will serve him and his son and his grandson until the time for his land comes. Then many nations and great kings will subjugate him. If, however, any nation of the kingdom will not serve Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, or bow its neck under his yoke, I will punish the nations with the sword, famine, and plague, declares the Lord, until I destroy it by his hand. Do not listen to the prophets, your diviners, and your interpreters of dreams, your mediums, or your sorcerers who tell you, you will not serve the king of Babylon. They prophesy lies to you that will never serve to remember you far from your land. I will banish you, and you will perish. But if any nation will bow down its neck under the yoke of the king of Babylon and serve him, I will let that nation remain in its own land till it and live there, declares the Lord. I gave the same message to Zedekiah, king of Judah. I said, Bow your neck under the yoke of the king of Babylon. Serve him and his people, and you will live. Why will you and your people die by the sword, famine, and plague, with which the Lord has threatened any nation that will not serve the king of Babylon? Do not listen to the words of the prophet, who say to you, Will you not serve the king of Babylon? For they are prophesying lies. I have not seen them, declares the Lord. They are prophesying lies in the name, therefore I will banish you, and you will perish, both you and the prophets who prophesy you. Then I said to the prophets, to the priests, all these people, this is what the Lord says. Do not listen to the prophets who say very soon Now, articles from the Lord's house will be brought back from Babylon. Why are they prophesying lies to you? Do not listen to them. Serve the king of Babylon, and you will live. Why should the city become ruined if they are prophets and have the word of the Lord? Let them plead with the Lord Almighty with the articles remaining in the house of the Lord, and in this palace of the king of Judah and in Jerusalem. Do not be taken to Babylon, for this is what the Lord Almighty says about the pillar of bronze of the bronze sea, the movable stands, and the other articles that are left in the city, which Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon did not take away, when he carried Joachim, son of Joachim, king of Judah, into exile from Jerusalem to Babylon, along with all the nations, all the nobles of Judah and Jerusalem. Yes, this is what the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel, says about the things that are left in the house of the Lord in the palace of the king of Judah and Jerusalem. They will be taken to Babylon, and they will remain until the day I come for them, declares the Lord. Then I will bring them back to restore them to this place. Alright, so we're on chapter 28, so I'll be seeing you guys later on. I'm going to probably do a stream later on today, so look out for that. If not, I'll upload a video. So with that said, guys, I'll be seeing you later. Take it easy, and God bless.